Christ, I muttered to myself as the first flakes of snow started to fall. They gathered in fuzzy clumps over the windshield before my wipers cleared them away. I'd been waiting for 15, no, 20 minutes now, in my sister's driveway. Had I chosen to wait inside with her, I'd have been dead by now, thanks to her 2 gray cats. Cute little devils, but murder to my sinuses. Puffy eyes and a clogged up throat. That's just what I needed. Every Christmas, our family made the annual trip to my grandparents' cabin, tucked away in the woods of Hope, Alaska, and I'd hoped to beat the heavy snowfall that was forecasted. Since my sister's license was suspended from a DUI, here I was, a hostage to time, with my finger tapping anxiously on the steering wheel. When my mother had asked me to be the one to grab my sister, I had honestly dreaded it from the start. It wasn't that we hated one another. We just weren't as close anymore. After decades of constant arguments and bitter disagreements, we became distant and our relationship fizzled. Yes, we were siblings, but it felt more accurate to call us the residue of what siblings once were. Finally, like the gates of Valhalla, her front door opened, and out she came. Her hair was forest green. The last time I'd seen her, it had been white. The time before that, violet. Got everything? I asked as she clambered her way into the passenger seat. She responded, adjusting her glasses and stuffing a few bags in the back seat. And just like that, we were off. Hope was about a 30-minute drive, and it didn't take long for the awkward silence to inflate between us. The radio didn't work in my car, and the broken auxiliary port made your music sound like it was having a seizure. By the time we reached the turnoff for Hope Highway, the road was turning into a thick white sheet. Thankfully, on Christmas Eve night, the long stretch to Hope's small community was quick and vacant. The cabin was tucked away in a fortress of trees, 5 miles off the main road. As I made the turn, my sister cracked the window, pulled out a blunt, and lit it. Want a hit? Snow crunched beneath us. Not while I'm driving. It's a straight path. We're practically there already. She took a drag and blew it out the window. I want to just focus on this, all right? She huffed and pushed up her glasses. If you're that worried, maybe slow down a bit then. There was the jab, a piece of bait to lure me into another fight. But I wasn't going to bite. Not this time. The drive was almost over. Soon, I'd be in a warm living room with my feet up, a spiked eggnog in hand, and Bobby Helms' Jingle Bell Rock in the air. I could already hear Uncle Jed spouting off one of his crude jokes. Why does Santa Claus have such a big... Dude! My sister shrieked, jabbing a finger in my side. A massive reindeer stood in our path, eyes wide open and blank, illuminated by the high beams. Panicked, I twisted the wheels in a desperate swerve. The car veered greasily to the side in a fine spray of slush. The reindeer remained still, even as the bumper soared inches from its nose. We came to a crunching halt off the main path. Jesus, I sighed. Did we hit it? No, my sister said, leaning out the window. Smoke drifted from her lips. I pressed on the gas. The wheels shrilled in place, kicking up globs of sleet but not moving an inch. Perfect, I moaned, stepping out to check. The front tires were caked in black slush, practically swallowed in a mound of snow. I kicked at it, trying to clear the icy debris. Screw off, Prancer, my sister called toward the dark silhouette of the reindeer, its antlers like gnarled fingers reaching for the treetops. Then she made a sort of startled yip, followed by a quiet, "What the fuck?" I looked up from the snow. The reindeer was now standing tall on both hind legs. It looked strange, like a silly caricature from a kid's book. But out there, In the silence of the woods, it was a creepy image. Its vague shape held an almost human-like balance. Then I noticed it didn't have a tail. Its muscular neck craned to the side and let out a horrible scream. Metal grinding against metal. My legs were ice sculptures, cementing me to the spot. The shriek quieted to a series of wet grunts. The reindeer dropped back down, stomped heavily, mist venting from its nostrils. I wasn't a hunter, but I knew when an animal was about to charge. I lunged for the driver's seat, slamming the door shut, just as the muffled thud of hooves reached me. Antlers scraped the door as the beast practically flew over the patch where I'd been standing. My sister screamed as the bulk of its frame wound back around and charged again, this time shattering the headlights. Darkness. Just go already. I'm trying. The wheels spun helplessly. We were trapped. The creature slammed into the window, spiderwebbing cracks across the glass. My sister was hyperventilating. I searched frantically for anything. A weapon, a tool. I'd have given anything for a gun. Suddenly, it stopped. Antlers lowered. It backed away, blending into the trees. We called our dad. He was coming with his truck. Then my sister whispered, "Do you hear that?" I listened. A voice drifted from the woods, a child's voice. "Somebody, I'm lost. Please help me." My sister reached for the door handle. I grabbed her wrist. The voice continued, the same words, repeating, choked sobs, a recording. My sister's face twisted in horror. She stared out the window behind me. I turned. It had the face of a man, surrounded by the mottled fur of a caribou, the skin stretched, tight and leathery, over a long skull. Snowflakes melted on its wide, empty eyes. It circled the car, fogging the glass. Then it let out that same scream, but its lips didn't move. The sound came from its neck. Small, fleshy slits flapped open along its throat, mimicking the cry of the little girl. "Help me. I'm lost." Dad's headlights pierced the woods. The creature ran. No one believed us. They never would. But we knew what we saw, a skinwalker. My sister and I have never been closer.